Hello, Michelle here, and well, I wonder how many sketchbooks you are using at any one time. I haven't even counted these, I've piled them up, but maybe we'll try and start with the biggest and work our way down. I thought that it would be fun to show you all the different art books or sketchbooks that I am using right at this moment. I'm not sure that anyone else uses this many. Just look. Um, there are rather a lot. And I'm going to start with this one, which is, let me just turn, oh no, we do need it on. Okay. It's because the sun's coming through as well. Okay, so this one is a Strathmore 400 series field watercolor cold press, and it's 300 GSM. So this book, I think I've probably shown it before. I haven't used this front cover yet. What you get in between your 300 GSM sheets of paper is normal paper. And so I've been doing a picture, not always, but sometimes, and then on the other side, I've written down the materials that I have used. So that's kind of how I've been using this particular, let's try and get that up the right way. How can I do it? Yeah, like that. So there's that one. And the colours that I used, I'll just do a few. That one's upside down, isn't it? We've got an owl there. Here we've got a gate. We've got another owl here. So this, I've been using this when I want to do a big A3 kind of spread. That one was done using ink tents, pencils and blocks. So I don't know that I've got that many. Goes up that way. That was a study of some garlic. I don't know that I've got that many pages left in this one, to be fair. And of course, you've all seen the latest one that I did in this, because I put this as a video on YouTube. So what have we got left? We've got a couple of pages left, really. So that is the Strathmore Field Watercolor 400 series cold pressed 300 GSM. So that's that one that I haven't quite finished. This is another quite big one. This is a Stillman and Burn Nova series. There we go. Then more here. So using the toned grey, this is an A4. I don't know that it says what. Oh, here we go. It's a mixed media, 9 by 12 inches, 150 GSM. So that's what it's called. I was doing quite a lot of robins and blackbirds at one point, and doing a plan for a book that is still ongoing. I need to do it in a separate book. This was me working out possible palettes, a bit more with our robins. I wanted to see what my colours looked like on brown toned paper. So yes, we've got this kind of thing going on. Me experimenting. You can see some of them come out nicely and some of them don't. But then that's the whole idea of a sketchbook, really, is to just be trying various different things. Yeah, another idea for a book. Don't know that I'll ever finish a book, but we will see. So there's still quite a few pages left in that one. Stillman and Burn Nova series, and I wrote it in the back. Premium sketchbook, mixed media, medium grain surface, 9 by 12 inches, and it's 150 GSM grey toned. So that's that one. What else have we got? Let's stick with Stillman and Burn. This is the beta series. So this has got thicker, would I call this watercolor paper? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's the beta series. This one is smaller. I think this was an 8 by 10. 8 by 10 or something like that. No, 7 by 10. 7 inches by 10 inches. So this is a smaller one. I quite often start my sketchbooks with deciding on a palette that I'm going to use in that sketchbook, and what coloured pencils and other things I might want to use. And then, yeah, here we go. So this I think is more mixed media paper, but you can see I've been playing with various ideas. Oh, I think these might have been a Zoom session with Crixus. Those of you that know Crixus, if not, you can find her on YouTube, trying out various colours. Yeah, just playing about, really. Trying to do more people. So this is a variation of carrot people, basically. And I tried a few in various different positions, as you can see. Got quite into doing that. It built up my confidence to do add people into my scenes. And what have I got left? Oh, actually, I've really only got a couple of pages. So this one is more or less finished, to be fair. That's that one. And I think there is one more. Yes, there's one more. Stillman and Burn. This is the Nova series again. So it's the grey toned, exactly the same as the other one, but it's 7 by 10 inches. And I was going to use that throughout the autumn, as you can see, but I probably didn't stick to that theme. Oh, I don't know, Calmtober. So these were from Calmtober. Actually, I think all of these were from Calmtober. Maybe. Some of you will have seen me do one or t'other of these on my YouTube channel. If not, you can look back. I'm just trying out colorways and techniques, but there's quite a bit of that one left. Right, let's move on. Many of you will have seen this one before. So Yes, what is this? Oh, this is the Ranger. A Ranger. It's mixed media paper, but I use it mainly to stick odd paintings that I've done that weren't in a sketchbook, so that I can I don't lose them. This is where I was trying out some acrylics. That's probably why I've got so many acrylics that I ordered. I thought I was getting into acrylics, but I'm not going to do all of these. We'll just skip through a few. So yes, I've used this in various different ways to... Oh, that was Inktober. There you go. So where I have done little paintings, odd ones, I just stick them in here, basically. And as we move towards the end of the book, a lot of these have been done through Zoom sketching sessions with Crixis and some more of her Patreons. So there we go. Oh, that page has got a bit dark, but we've still got a few pages left. So that's that one. What shall we do next? Let's look at this one, which is called the Art Journal. Art by Marlene, the Art Journal. I have done a little bit on this before. This is the one that I'm using at the moment. It's got some things from 2023, but not much. Just to show you how I have been using it. I started off using it like a nature journal, and I was using my John Muir's book. Some of you may have heard of John Muir's. He does a lot of nature journaling, but these were some questions to kind of ask myself. I notice, I wonder, it reminds me of pick a subject, make a collection, etc. And some ideas on how to do a nature journal. So that was what my idea of using this one was initially, but then I basically ended up doing some haiku poems instead. So that's kind of how I've used this more as time went on. And as you can see, this one is definitely more line and wash. So there we go. These were going up into 2022 basically. So that's the Art Journal, Art by Marlene. Let's move on. What else have we got? This was my Viiva Colours sketchbook. It does have an elastic on it. And I started this in October 2023. And I think I've mainly used watercolours in here. Oh no, we've got a little bit of line and wash there. Moving into line and wash again. That's watercolour. Line and wash. In fact, I think I do more line and wash than kind of watercolour or a loose watercolour. This is just using other, I think I've used some just coloured pencils on that one. Testing out some colours. I'm not sure. Testing, as you can see. And there's, oh, it looks like I've swatched in the back, but I've still got quite a few pages left to use in that one. But I think that's more for line and wash, really. What do we have next? Next, let's look at this little one. This is the Fabriano Classic Artists Journal. And the paper in here is actually quite thin. I think it might only be... Does it say? Oh, here we go. So it's 5 by 7 inches. And it is only 90 GSM. It's very flimsy. So it's really only good for line and a bit of wash. However, you know, you can see I've used a fair bit of watercolour sometimes. This is mixed media. These ideas were because I'm a Patreon of Natasha Newton. So I was just trying some things out. So I've kind of used it more in that way than anything else. But then, look, we revert to line and wash. So maybe that's telling me something. Maybe that is, that's kind of what I like to do more. See, I quite like that effect. So, those of you that watched the introduction to a series that I will be doing with a fellow artist called Diana Lisa will know that she kind of asked that question around what kind of art I tend to be drawn towards and do myself. And I mentioned that I kind of flip between watercolor and quite loose watercolor and then more line and wash. And as I look through these sketchbooks, I'm seeing for myself that line and wash is probably something that I do a little bit more than anything else. However, let's have a little look at this. I cannot remember where I got this from. So, but this is mixed media. It's quite thick. It's like card. And I've used this to do these flowers with the Pebeo Cern Relief in. So you can probably just about see that Cern Relief if I move it about a bit. There we go. So these have all... This was just a little theme that I was doing with flowers. There we go. So you can see that. And there's still plenty more. So I will, you know, sometimes that's all I want to do. I just want to do a little flower and some Cern Relief. That's how I'm using that one. What have I done with this one? This name and address and things on a lot of these, so I might have to black them out. Anyway, line and wash, a bit more line and wash. Oops, I missed one. Yeah, that didn't go very far, that one, did it? Bit more line and wash. So I think, in effect, I do more line and wash than anything else. So that's just a little one. What else have we got? Have I used this one or not? Oh, yes, we have. Right, this is the Etcher Accordion. So it kind of fans out like so. And I've done a few sketches in this one when I'm out and about. So these are, oh, that was very faint. That didn't come out that well. There we go. Oh dear, what happened to my sheep? That one came out a little bit better. But yeah, I've definitely been using that as line and wash, really. So that's another one. Then we have got this Handmade grey toned. It's a little square sketchbook, and you can see where I've done things when I'm out and about in this one. That one wasn't. I think that might have been a challenge by either Crixus or Natasha Newton, and I'm not sure which. So yes, basically, like, oh, this was while I was sitting waiting in the GP's surgery. Not much to see. That's the beginning of the desk, check-in desk. So some things will have worked out, some things won't, like that one. So yes, we've got quite a little mixture in here, I think. That one came out quite well. Some of them I'm quite happy with. I like that one that I did. Of course, we use our sketchbooks then to give us, I think that one goes that way, to give us some ideas, to test things out. It goes that way. That's this golf club. Well, my husband plays golf and I end up as a golf widow. And that was supposed to be a fox. Okay, let's not go any further. And what have we got left? Just a few pages left in that one. What's next? Let's go with this one next. I made this. So I used a piece of card and then I printed out this paper here. Now this, where did I get this paper from? It was a free download from somewhere. And I've put in, this is a good 300 GSM watercolor paper, and you can see I've used this red wool to make it, but I've used this in a specific way for, rather than trying to do realistic animals, these are kind of, well, illustrative type, and I kind of gave them names. Floyd the fox, then we've got Herbert the hedgehog, and Harry the hare. Who else have we got? Dee Dee the deer. Then for some reason I decided to do a tree. We've got, I decided to call that Oakhurst the home. Perhaps I was coming up with characters for another little book or something. Clover. Sometimes I forget. There we go. We've got, oh, these fungi ones might have been when Natasha Newton was into fungi, and I know that that's Friends Beck. So still lots of pages left in that one to use. We're nearly there, folks. Next, this is the Beetle journal that you can get from Deep Light. And we've got a barn owl. We've got a mole. We've got a harvest mouse. And we've got a gull and a heron. And that's as far as we've got. But this has also got a record of all of my Deep Light watercolours, so that I know what I've got, and so that I don't order the same thing twice, which can happen to me sometimes. So this is all handmade, this Beetle sketchbook, and it's got it's like the caddy paper that's in here. My last one, I think this is my last one anyway. There may be others lurking. Oh yes, I think there is. Right, okay. Pronounce it. Yeah. How am I using this one? A bit more. I like to use my pen, don't I? By the looks of it. Oh, some of you will recognize this as part of my intro on my YouTube. More pen and wash. And then these are the ones that I did on Saturday in a Zoom session with some colleagues, with some friends. So they were a bit of a challenge. So that's that one. That's the Moleskine, which is lovely. I have to say I like the Moleskine. Now then, I think I probably have, where is it? Here it is. In here, because I've left it in there. This one. So this is another one that I'm using. I got several of these from Temu. And this is pretty decent paper, and you can hear that. It's quite thick as well. And yet again, what am I doing? Line and wash. So it seems, well, maybe not that one. Yeah, there we go. So, plenty left. Oh, no, I've missed some pages. Right, what did I do here? Oh, I coloured some pages to see if that might be useful. So we have got something else in here. There we go. So, I'm not sure how many that was. Maybe one of you was counting. But it's rather a lot of sketchbooks to have on the go. And I probably have just as many sitting in the wings waiting to be used. So, so I think some of my favourites then would be Moleskine. I think that is very comparable to, bear with, I think it's very comparable to also the Sea White of Brighton, and I really quite like Sea White. This one's finished, but oh no, it's not. It's got a few pages. Oh, there we go. There's another one that I haven't finished. Sea White of Brighton is another A5 that I really like. I like them both. There's still some pages in that one to use up. I also really love working on this caddy paper as well. I think that that has its own, it's really nice with watercolor, whereas the Moleskine and the Sea White of Brighton work pretty well with just about any of the mediums. So you can use pen, you can use coloured pencils, you can use ink tints, and you can use watercolour. They all seem to work pretty well. So this really more for watercolour. Moleskine does the job for all of them. And the one I think that surprised me the most was this Stillman and Burn beta series, because I really enjoyed working in this. I felt it was good with watercolour, but this is acrylic. I could use acrylic in there. I could use just about anything because it is mixed media paper. And I quite like the size of this one, and I like the ring binding because you can get everything flat. So Stillman and Burn, I think, for the fact that you can use it for everything, it's probably a bit big to take out. So maybe Moleskine or Sea White of Brighton to take out, but in the studio as a sketchbook, that is rather lovely. And I did forget one. I knew I would. Let's move you out of the way. So those are my three preferences, I suppose. But I do also have this, which is the Avocado and Spice, which comes in this bag. And I've got the pencil case to go with it. So that's got just some pens in, really. And the way that I've been using this, some of you will have seen before. I'm doing these little squares, and I'm keeping note of the colours that I use. I'm using my Handmade colours. And I've been coming up with kind of little themes for these squares. And that's all that I'm using this for. This paper is mixed media paper, but it's not as thick as the Stillman and Burn. And all of these, or many of them, have got the Pebeo Cern relief as well. So we've got, oh, that one's got ready and didn't go any further. So maybe then, why don't we finish today's video by completing this? So I will get my Handmade watercolours out. Right, here they are. These are my Handmade watercolours. These are all of the Handmade watercolours except for Deep Deep Light. Deep Deep Light I've kept separate. So what shall we start with? Maybe we will, you'll notice I'm keeping a piece of card between the pages on this one. I'm just going to spray a little bit because I want everything to flow. So what do we feel like today? Well, we're getting a lot of yellows and oranges, aren't we, and things with our daffodils. So maybe we will start with this Arcar Creations. This is a cadmium golden, I think this is called, yeah. So maybe we'll start with that. And we'll get some of that in. And I think we'll have some begonia. Begonia sounds nice. What else shall we have? Oh, I fancy some cobalt turquoise in there. Let's add that in there. Okay, and what about Vermilion Bird? I didn't say the makes, did I? Okay, so Begonia was Novi. Any of you have heard of those? I've got them from Etsy. And the Vermilion Bird is Tiny Cloud. This is a bright, beautifully bright colour. And let's add a green in there. What's this called? Quazone. Quazone. Tiny Clouds. Where are you? There. Yes. This is quite a dark. Oh, maybe it's not. Looked quite dark. The thing about this is if you don't feel like you want to paint an object or a scene or an animal or whatever it might be, then you can just do something like this. And then we'll add some splats. I feel like there needs to be a darker colour in there. Vintage green. Arcar Creations, vintage green. How dark are you? Oh, yes. So let's get some of you in there as well. Kind of a grey green. But it just needed something a bit darker. Somewhere or another. Right. I am going to allow that to merge and mingle a bit more. And we will let that dry. And then we will come back and we will put something over the top. Okay. That is pretty much dry. I've pulled out a 0.3 fine liner. Caran d'Ache Luminance in dark sap green, Derwent Light Fast in turquoise green, and Caran d'Ache Luminance in, what is this, cornelian. So those are the colours that I have pulled out, and I think that we will pull out some pretty flowers from here. And we'll use that as a stem, I think, coming down as well. So I'm just using what I can kind of half see, really. Like so. And then we've got something that looks a bit like a flower there. So we've pulled out 3. And maybe we will give that one some kind of ruffles. Like so. And perhaps we'll just add a bit to that one there. Okay. Don't want to go too mad with our black fine liner. Put that one back in there. Let us now use the carnelian. And do a bit of mark making, patterns, whatever we want to call it. Gosh, concentration, I've gone quiet, haven't I? And I think we will add some green in there. And go over that with our green. Okay. Now what shall we add to this one? Perhaps we'll stick with our line making. I'll add a little bit there. That might be a bit harder for you to see. And we'll get our green in there. And coming down here. And then we need to add something on this one. So perhaps we'll just do some little V's, V shapes. Like so. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, with my coloured pencil, I'm going to kind of make a bit of a flowery shape going on here and give it a bit of a centre. So that it kind of looks as though there's a flower coming out there, and perhaps a bit fainter, but another line there. And then maybe I need to get a yellow out. Let's find a yellow. Amber gold, there we go, you will do. And I think, where shall we go? What can I see there? Maybe here. Might be kind of a flower there, and maybe we'll give that a blue center so that it looks like there's a bit of a blue coming through. Maybe we need a lighter orange. What have we got? Apricot. Now that's nice. So I'm wondering if just in here maybe we can get a little bit of a flower shape in there, so that we can kind of see. Let's just give them some kind of faint. Maybe that one's going that way. So there's some other lines. Now we need some more. We kind of need some leaves, don't we? That looks a little bit like some leaves down the bottom there. And then this could be a little bit more. Maybe a little bit like that. And then I think we just need some Fabriano relief. I don't want to go too mad. So let's put those pencils away and let's find which Fabriano relief we will need. Not you. Gold, maybe. Gold. Let's go with gold and hope that this works. And yes, it works. We'll get just a few. Little flowers going. Yep. And then maybe there's one. It's going to make it 4. We don't want 4, do we? Maybe instead we will put some little dots on that one. And let's think what else we might need. This probably needs a bit of something, doesn't it? Perhaps we can just go around the edge of this one. Like so. And then maybe all that we have over here are some little, just some dots. Scattered about. Like so. Right, let me bring that up a little bit closer for you to see. There we are. I guess we could call it something from nothing. But I do need to put a name for it. So what shall we call it? Spring Burst, maybe. There we go, Spring Burst. Those colours make me very happy this morning. I'm liking that. And you can see the gold shining with a bit of luck. That will take a little bit of time to dry. But there we go. Another quick and easy idea for if you are not wanting to paint anything in particular and you just want to see what happens and you just want to play with colour. So that is the Avocado and Spice that comes in its little bag, and if you wanted to, you can find the matching pencil case. It came from Amazon. I have all of these I have put on previous videos, so you know, you should be able to find all of the sketchbooks. I always mention which one I'm using. So there we go. Enjoy. Let me know if I am the odd one out with so many sketchbooks that I'm in the middle of using, together with just as many sitting in the wings waiting to be used. Do you do that, or do you just use one sketchbook at a time? Let me know. I'll be interested to know. Anyway, have a lovely day, afternoon, evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.